it's Wolf here, and I'm back with a brand new video. Today, I am going to be talking about something extremely important that us furries and even Therians or anybody part of those communities has to, talk about, because I've seen a video on this topic from Blazie Fox. I think that's how you pronounce their name. Anyways, I seen a video from on Blazie Fox talking about this. So now I think that it's gonna be my turn to talk about it now. So this is extremely important. Okay, so listen. Just listen, okay? There's a lot of hate in the communities. There's a lot of hate in the fandom. Because I'm going to talk about where this is coming from, right? Alright? Okay, so where it's coming from, right? Everybody must think that, it's the haters, the anti-furs, the anti-Therians, right? Well, that is true, but, there's a but, we gotta look of why they are, hating on us and stuff like that, Because so I can say that it's just a misunderstanding, not understanding of of the furry fandom or the furry community, right? So what I am gonna talk about is some topics of the hate and everything. I don't usually, because I don't do these types of videos because I try to keep my community hate-free and safe from, anybody that says, hurtful things to the communities or the fandom. But I think that I am personally, gonna, talk about it because, I want my, my own community to, be safe and, hate-free. So, with that being said, okay, so the reason why that haters, anti-furries, and anti-Therians, say these type of things is because they misunderstand. So, with that being said, what are they misunderstanding? What are they not getting? What is not clicking in their brains? I can tell you right now that I possibly know what it is because it's like pretty obvious because of the misunderstandings and everything. The main reason of why the haters, anti-furries, and anti-Therians, say these types of things is because they don't understand clearly of what a furry or a Therian is. The definition of a furry, right? Okay, so the definition of a furry: somebody who likes anthropomorphic animals or characters. So these type of characters are typically animals like this that have like human-like features, like talking, like standing on two legs and whatnot, that is furry. Now on the opposite side, but still in like the animal category, on like a whole different level, this is Therians. A Therian is someone who identifies as an animal on a spiritual or physiological level, or any level but physical. You cannot choose to be Therian. You have to be born as a Therian. So, what is it that these people don't understand, and where the misunderstanding comes from? So many people think that furries and Therians are actually, the same thing, which they are absolutely not. Like I said, furries, they like anthropomorphic characters and animals, human-like creatures. Therian, on the other hand, it's an identity, alright? Therian is an identity that you don't get to choose. So, yeah. So now I'm gonna, go on to, like different things that these, that the haters, anti-furries, and anti-Therians, talk about, right? The most common one for Therians, and sometimes furries, is that people are like, oh, you think that you're an animal, then go go outside or something and, do animal things. No, we do not do that at all. So, here is something that is very, intriguing to me, and I kind of understand, I kind of understand this, but it's like, why, I still can't, I can kind of figure out the why, but it's like hard to pinpoint it exactly. So, what are the things that haters, anti-furries, and anti-Therians talk about? The common one is, oh, if you're an animal, then go use a litter box, or, go outside, do your thing, No, we don't do that. So, furries and Therians are completely human, just have, different interests, or, different types of identities, So, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about, something, more interesting. Well, this whole thing is interesting, but something that's extremely intriguing, So, I'm talking about, what other things. I know I already said this, but the list goes on of what the haters, anti-furries, and anti-Therians, talk about, about these certain crazy things. All right. So something that's kind of been going around about furries and Therians is the zoophilia thing. No, we are not associated with with zoophilia or anything like that. Yes, there are some furries and Therians that are in the zoophilia thing. They're into that, but mostly we are not. All right, most of us are not associated with that disgusting nature. But it's very, very rare for a furry or Therian to actually do the type of thing that that are zoophiles and whatnot. I freaking hate zoophiles so much. They're so disgusting. Ugh. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to that before I absolutely throw up or do something that I don't want to do on camera or off camera, depending on how you want to look at it. Anyways, let's move on. No. So anyways, now something else that it has brought that has been brought to my attention. All right. Okay, so obviously I talk about what furries and Therians are, but now let me talk about the misunderstandings that what exactly the haters, anti-furries, or anti-Therians are not completely getting. Because what did I not understand, right? What they don't understand is they don't understand what the feeling is of what the people that aren't Therians, they don't know what Therians go through or feel. With furries, the anti-furries and haters don't exactly have interest in these type of characters that are that are like anthropomorphic and whatnot. But here's the thing, all right? What these haters, anti-furries, don't understand, all right? So obviously, you might know the popular cartoon Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, for example, all right? So, what Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, what is the key factor here? Anthropomorphic animals. Mickey Mouse, he is a mouse that is human-like, talks, walks on two legs, whatnot, That is a anthropomorphic character or animal in this, situation. Goofy. So all of the characters besides, Pluto and, like any other animal that's not like, Mickey Mouse or whatnot. Mickey Mouse and all his friends are, besides Pluto, are, anthropomorphic. Oh, sorry. So Mickey Mouse and all his friends besides Pluto and, any other animal that's not like them, those are anthropomorphic animals, aka furries. And a lot of people around the world furry or not. They, there's, a bunch of them love, making those posts. Another one is, and this is gonna be shocking to all of you, all the fans of this, but, Hello Kitty. What is Hello Kitty? Because she's supposedly a cat, right? Wrong. She's not a cat. Because the creators say that Hello Kitty is not a cat at all. But it's like, what is Hello Kitty then? So as far as I'm aware, and as probably a bunch of furries and whatnot know, is that Hello Kitty is a anthropomorphic animal. Like I said, anthropomorphic animals are, animals with human-like features, talking, walking on two legs and whatnot, That's another good example, Hello Kitty. Okay, so another good example would, possibly be My Little Pony, right? So with My Little Pony, right? They're on all fours, right? They're not on two legs, like typical furries. You would see like Mickey Mouse or like Hello Kitty. But they are still anthropomorphic animals because they still talk and do like have like human-like features and stuff like that. So that being said, so My Little Pony, so those characters are 100% furry, alright? But here's the key difference, alright? They might be completely furry, but they are a different type of furry, alright? So there's many types of furries, but the main two ones are the normal furry, like this, or feral furries, So what a feral furry is basically is it's a furry, but like not fully anthropomorphic. They still have some animalistic features to them, like My Little Pony, like that last example, So I'm just gonna say now that so if you want to get like a more detailed video on this hater topic or whatnot, go to Blazie Fox, alright? I'm just trying to relay their message, alright, to stop hating on furries and therians. So Blazie Fox, I don't know if Blazie Fox knows about therians, but they definitely know about furries because they are furries themselves, alright? So if you want to get into, if you want like a more detailed video on like the different topics on the furry hate and stuff, go to Blazie Fox, alright? Because I'm just here to spread their message and stuff like that to stop the hate and bring awareness to the furries and therians. Well, mainly furries and therians. Well, because Blazie Fox doesn't. I don't think that Blazie Fox knows the therian side. I don't know. But they definitely know like a lot of furry things. Because they are furry themselves. So yeah. So here's something that I want you guys to do, alright? Something that I want you to take part in if you are a YouTuber yourself, alright? Big or small content creator, it doesn't matter. I want you to relay this message and go on and make a video on what me and Blazie Fox and whoever else decides to talk about this, So I just want to say, anti-furries, anti-therians, and haters themselves, please understand that whatever you're saying does not correlate directly, because whatever you guys are saying, 100% fake. Yes, some of the things that you talked about is kind of true on a certain level, like zoophiles, for example, the different zoophiles of the furry and therian communities. So I talked about this just a few seconds or minutes ago, but anyways, okay, so the zoophiles of the furry and therian communities, you're gonna rarely find them in the fandom in the therian community. So yeah. And another thing that, you know, anti-furries, anti-therians, and haters themselves don't, you know, don't have it click into their brain is that they're misguided. They are misguided. They must understand they are, you know, guided by misinformation. But most importantly is that the reason why is because that they mainly look at the bad side of the furry fandom and the therian community, but not the good side entirely. Yes, some of them might, you know, look at the good side for like maybe like a glance or something, but then they immediately go back to the, you know, the bad side of the furry fandom and the therian community. So what they need to do is, you know, look at all the, you know, good furries and all the good therians, alright, of the good side of both the furry fandom and the therian community. Anyways, guys, I am gonna end this video. I'm getting extremely hot in this fursuit head, and my, you know, my fursuit, you know, gloves or whatever my fursuit paws. Anyways, cause remember, stay true, stay positive, and it's Wolfie, and I'm out. Peace.